last but not least in the animation portion, we're going to talk about Chainsaw Man because I've barely been able to talk about Chainsaw Man with Amir because he's really busy, so he hasn't been had the chance to really sit down and watch it, most of it. But since you've read all of the manga and are keeping up with it just like I am, and
Yep,
I assume you've watched the entirety of season one by now,
I have.
let's talk about first. Let's give a review of the first season in general. Spoiler alert: we're gonna spoil the first season. We're not gonna get into manga spoilers yet. I'll give a spoiler alert before we get there, but we're gonna talk about just the anime so far. So, what do you think of it?
So, I have very strong opinions about the anime. It's good because Mappa is a good studio, but I feel like it could have been better if some other studio did it. And I feel like that because it feels super desaturated. Like there's no color to it, and with how colorful the the official art and the cover art for Chainsaw Man is, it was really surprising to see the anime be so gray in a sense. And then I don't know, it feels a little rushed to me, but I have that problem with animes in general because they overwork their employees, but that's a whole nother thing. So I feel it was good. I enjoyed the adaptation. I feel like it could have been better, and I think that for season two or part two or however they're splitting it up, they should get another studio to do it. Frankly,
I like the animation. I think that the colors make sense. I feel like the covers of the manga aren't necessarily indicative of what the inside of the comic should look like. I think that the muted colors make sense because it takes place in a city and it's Tokyo. And it's not like they're going to Shibuya every day. They're in like the regular mundane like white buildings, apartments with white walls, you know, office spaces with white walls and concrete floors. So like I
yeah,
feel like it just that's makes sense. What I do like though is that we talked about this is that the different devils actually do have colorful guts and blood. As weird as that sounds,
right.
we talked about that because I was like, I hope that they do that because it's cool when it's on the cover, and I was like, that would be great if they did that, and they do. Whenever they're fighting one of the devils. They usually have different colored blood and guts, and I'm like, good, because that's my favorite part. Like, I really want like a Chainsaw Man like video game where
Same.
you just play as Denji ripping apart devils. That would be so fun. That would be so good.
Not a fighting game though, because I feel like a Chainsaw Man fighting game would be boring.
No,
TBH.
we don't need a Chainsaw Man fighting game. Like Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man could be a character in a fighting game, but not a fighting game. I'm talking like a Devil May Cry type game with Chainsaw Man would be great.
Oh, that would be so
It
fun.
would be good. But yeah, I like it. I like Mappa. I think I'm fine with Mappa. Continue to work on it. I think the animation is great. I think they're to me they're only second to Studio Orange when it comes to CG animation because Dorohedoro is so good. Where the hell is season two?
Oh,
I'm so
oh,
glad.
I love Dorohedoro. I
I'm,
haven't finished it. I haven't finished it, so no spoilers. But I've started watching it and I'm loving it so far.
oh, you just started watching. Yeah, Dorohedoro is amazing. I've also read. I've watched it through twice. I might have to watch it through a third time. And I read the entirety of the manga because I couldn't wait. Because where's season two? They're working. Their Mappa is working on so much, so many things. But you telling me they aren't working on Dorohedoro? Why? You can work on everything else, but not Dorohedoro. They keep picking up new anime, but not finishing the one anime that they started.
That
They need to drop One Punch Man and start working on Dorohedoro right now.
for real.
that
Wait, Mappa's doing One Punch Man now? I thought Studio Bones was.
there was well no there was a I don't know if it was a rumor or official, but something about Studio Bones not doing it anymore and that Mappa is now picking up. But they
Man.
like I think they're doing good for what they have, and I think that I don't think the problem is them. The problem is the people above them and how they make them work. I
Yeah.
think the animation is good. I honestly really like it. But yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it's good for what it's worth. I just feel like I said, it could have been better. I don't know. It felt like something was missing to me. It didn't have that Chainsaw Man charm. IMO.
But yeah, it was really fun. I liked that a lot. So yeah, now we're gonna get into a bit of a manga spoilers and talk about how it compares to the manga and like where we think season two is gonna be. And like season two, again, spoiler for the manga, is obviously gonna start off with the bomb devil arc.
Mm.
And I'm curious to see if that's going to be the entirety of the season, or if I had to guess, I would say that the season is probably going to end with the assassins coming after Denji.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's where
I
it's
hope
gonna end.
that's how they do it. If they like, I hope they don't stretch the bomb double thing out into like the whole season because it doesn't need that long. It
No, I
really
don't think they
doesn't.
will because they didn't really stretch anything out in the first season. They kept I feel like they kept everything at a good pace. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
it'll probably be about like half the season. Then the last half will be a bit of the again filler stuff in between, and then we'll get to the that final arc with the not the final arc of the series, but the final arc of that season will probably be the that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the season after that will probably be it might be the end of part one.
Mm.
It depends on how long it
Yeah.
is. Because I'm trying to think. Everything in between then. Yeah, it might be the end of part one. Season three might be the end of part one.
Mm.
I feel like that would make
That
sense.
would make sense. Yeah. The most sense anyway.
But let's talk about part two of the manga right now. How are you feeling about? Because it feels like. Well, are you caught up before I speak?
I am caught up. I am caught
Okay,
up.
so it feels like I'm not sure if they're gonna go the route of a romance, but it feels like they might either be going like it's a romance, but he reminds her of power. So either they're gonna become like siblings, or they will start dating because he reminds her of power, and he likes that. It might be a
It's like either way, I know that that shit is gonna be heartbreaking because what happened with Rezi in part one was heartbreaking, and like I was strictly like Asa and Denji should just hate each other and that should be that. But then the most recent chapter happened, and I'm like, if anything happens to them, I will be so sad. But knowing Chainsaw Man, something sad is going to happen, so I'm just trying to mentally prepare for that. Because it's like that line he dropped about her reminding him of power, like really, it hurt. That hurt so bad.
yeah. It's hard to really predict what's gonna happen. I made a mistake and beat it myself, but
Mm.
yeah, it's hard to predict what's gonna happen. But I'm hoping that Fujimoto is gonna take a different route this time and like subvert our expectations of things just going really bad because things have been going too good. It feels like, but it feels like maybe he'll make us think something's gonna go horribly wrong and then like turn it back on us. But I'm excited to see where it goes.
Same, same. Also, I hope we get to see more of Nayuta because the mentions aren't enough. Like, I want to know where she is development wise.
Yeah, I thought that lady who was apparently the what is it, the sibling of the War Devil or something like that.
She's like I think she was I forgot what she said she was, but yeah, they're
Yeah,
like siblings or related in some way.
yeah. I don't know why, but I thought that was like that reincarnation of Makima because I was like, I was like, I don't remember what they looked like. Is that her? Did she like grow up super fast or something? I was very
Hey,
confused until he mentioned her in that last chapter. I was like, oh, that's not her.
but then that raises the question, where is she? And it's like, I don't know. I like this like four horsemen approach that I'm thinking Fujimoto is setting up. I've always really liked like stories that set up that kind of idea, and I'm
Oh
excited to see
yeah,
where he goes
that's what she
with
is.
it.
She's famine.
Yeah, I knew she was one of them. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be interesting if we see the other two, death and pestilence, or conquest, whichever one they decide to call it.
Yeah, they might pull a Binding of Isaac and do both.
But yeah,